You know who has to be the most dumbfounded guy in America right now, right today as we speak? It'd be Denny Hastert, the former Republican Speaker of the House. The guy's out there saying, what in the world was I doing paying blackmail? Hell, I should have done a reality TV show about all this. I'd be in Fat City. Greetings, my friends, and welcome. It's great to have you here on the EIB network, Rush Limbaugh. As we plod on, folks. We're just trudging through it out there, making sense as best we can at each and every juncture. Telephone number, if you want to be on the program, is 800-282-2882. And the email address, lrushbo@eibnet.com. Okay, we're going to get to this Caitlyn Jenner business in just a second. There's some other stuff out there going on that I want to get to. But I don't want anybody to think I'm relegating Caitlyn Jenner to secondary or tertiary status here. It's the dominant thing, and it's what everybody else is talking about. And I know until you've heard what I think about it, you really don't know what you think about it. I'm just not crazy about getting into it right now. I do think it's important for people of a certain age. Oh! Sorry for the interruption, but it's no big deal since I'm interrupting myself. I've got a story today. It says the millennials do care about owning houses, and it's from, I think, the Federal Reserve, or that's Fannie Mae. It blows to smithereens all this stuff we've been hearing prior to today that the millennials don't want to own things. So the Fannie Mae's are no different than any other generation. It just shows that we're just being bombarded with stuff left and right, kind of like Bob Schieffer. We don't know what to make of it anymore. By the way, Bob Schieffer's been hired. Guess where Bob Schieffer's been hired? And the news today is like, oh, my God, look what happened here. Like nobody had any idea this was good. Bob Schieffer's been hired at the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard. He's going to go up and teach confusion, which is what he is. I mean, we played the sound bites. Bob Schieffer, poor guy's confused anymore over what is news and what isn't news. And well, that's why he's been hired by Harvard to go teach, I think, 3 semesters of journalism confusion at Harvard. So he landed on his feet after retiring from CBS. I guess he didn't want to go back to Texas. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, bad news for Hillary Clinton. You know it's bad when the drive-bys lead with it, even though the drive-bys plug a story in the middle of the Hillary story about how difficult it is for certain Republicans out there, too, such as Jeb Bush. The fact is, CNN and a bunch of drive-bys they can't avoid the news. Hillary's unfavorables are now up to 50%. More people have an unfavorable view of Hillary Clinton, Democrat frontrunner, now than at any time since 2001. So that'd be the last 15 years. This, according to a new CNN ORC poll on the 2016 presidential race. I'm reading here from the CNN story. While Clinton remains strikingly dominant in the Democrat field. Oh, you see, they have to throw that in to try to cushion the blow for the Hillary supporters that are reading this piece on CNN. I mean, it's devastating news. It is just totally, she's continuing to plummet here. There's nothing exciting about Hillary. There's nothing invigorating. There's nothing inspirational about Mrs. Clinton whatsoever. I mean, it's even been reduced. We got a soundbite here from the forehead. Oh, yeah, Hillary's really great in small groups. Whatever that means. Some poor guy wants to get a picture with her, an autograph, and he sends her to the back or she sends him to the back of the line. Guy should have offered $2,000 and he would have been able to stay in line where he was. Oh, and then there's big news. Oh, wait until Democrat voters hear about this. It seems that 2 or 3 major investment banks and other groups who are hell-bent on the Keystone Pipeline being approved have donated millions to the Clinton Foundation. Well, Hillary Clinton was taking money from people interested in the Keystone Pipeline. And all the while, every Democrat thinks that she's steadfastly opposed to it because Democrats should be opposed to it because it's oil and it's polluting and it's climate change and all that other stuff. And she and her husband are just out there, they're just hoovering up this money wherever they can get it. You combine that with the fact that more people have an unfavorable view of Hillary Clinton now than at any time since 2001, and it is not a pretty picture out there. The poll shows that Hillary's numbers have dropped significantly across several key indicators since she launched her campaign in April. A growing number of people say she is not honest and trustworthy, 57%. It was 49% in March. That was bad enough. 49% say she's not honest and trustworthy. Now it's 57%. Less than half of the people in the poll feel that she cares about people like that. That's that devastating question that killed Romney. Remember the exit poll question 2000, what would it have been 2000, what would it have been? What would it 12? Is that right? Yeah. Exit poll question, cares about people like me. Obama, 81%, Romney, 19%. On that same question, Hillary, 47% of the people claim or think or feel that Hillary cares about people like them. It was 53%. So she's that's a drop of 6 points. And more people now feel that she does not inspire confidence. 50%, up from 42%. And it's just devastating out there. And they're reduced to saying, while Clinton remains strikingly dominant in the Democratic, it doesn't mean anything. It just means that Bernie Sanders isn't striking any fires yet, and Martin O'Malley isn't either. And Elizabeth Warren, by the way, being the tail out, spin out, flame out, whatever. So she's off the scene. So it doesn't matter. I mean, they have no bench. That's the whole point. Hillary is it. So this is not good news. Now, they're going to slough. It's early, they'll say. And it's tied to all the news about the Clinton Foundation. And once time passes and people forget that, then everything will be okay. Nothing to see here. Meanwhile, Scott Walker continues to nail down Iowa. Many of the drive-bys remain fascinated at that and really dazzled and impressed. And by the way, the same thing's happened to Jeb Bush that is happening to Hillary. Washington Post, Bush lead evaporates. Clinton favorability hits 7-year low. That's one link. A Politico link, Clinton unfavorable numbers, highest in 14 years. That's CNN and Politico now, which we just had for you. And from ABC News, poll reveals Hillary Clinton's biggest weaknesses. But it's the bottom is also falling out for Jeb. In fact, the Washington Post story, after 5 months of forums and fundraising appearances and trips to the early states, the 2016 Republican nomination contest is as unsettled as ever, with no candidate getting more than 11% support and 7 candidates all within 3 points of one another. So what? It's still early and it's a crowded field. Who says there's supposed to be a front runner by now? See, this is typical, too. If somebody, and by the way, in Iowa there is, it's Scott Walker. But who says there's supposed to be Republican front runners? These guys want to make the claim that there's no Republican has yet made a move to stand out from the crowd other than Walker in Iowa. It's big trouble for the Republicans. Hell's bells, we haven't even started the debates yet. We're still, 15 months out? So is it just more mind control that the drive-bys are attempting?